Testing. Just as we all suspected, Austin freaking Hayes. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show, postgame show. I'm not Ryan Ripken. I am Zach Bollinger. I will be joined soon by a few of the guys, but we're here. We're breaking down an Orioles 7-2 win. While I'm saying that, let's get the banner going. Baltimore Orioles defeat the Toronto Blue Jays 7-2 in the series opener behind Austin Hayes' 2 home runs. And why not? Why not add a little, salt in the wound? Ramon Urias home run to cap it off. Let's look at the box score a little bit. And you know what? We're going to try this for the first time, so bear with me, people. We're just going to pull up the box score. Why don't we pull it up and let's talk about this together? So let's start with the Orioles because, man, it felt like every single player on the Baltimore Orioles was just smashing tonight. And as you see, everyone but, you guessed it, Ryan Mountcastle? Ryan Mountcastle and Connor Norby, only 2 guys as we see. Locked On Ravens, I'll be there soon looking for his prop. But yeah, just as we all suspected, the rookie making his debut doesn't get a hit. That happens. Ryan Mountcastle hitless versus Toronto in Toronto? Not something you thought you'd see, but love everything else from this squad. 10 hits, and man, my guy C-Money, fire Hyde for letting Hayes and Ramon hit homers. How dare he? I love it, C-Money. How dare he? Silly chicken. Really appreciate you, C-Money. Yes, Joe, he does probably mean stick. Spirit Bomb, as long-time Austin Hayes truther, I used to pray for times like these. I think a lot of guys who didn't give up on Austin Hayes are reaping the benefits of it tonight. So if you stuck with him, hell of a job. I got to say, to start this year, it was tough. Reports came out that he wasn't feeling 100%. He was dealing with illness. He was dealing with some sort of wrist injury from earlier in spring training. So you were kind of like, is this Austin Hayes healthy? Is this Austin Hayes not healthy? Ends up, Austin Hayes was not healthy. He lost something like 10 pounds between the first 3 weeks of the season, finally able to go out there and get healthy, comes back. And you know what? Let's pull it up. We're all going to pull this up together. I'm trying to see. Does that pull up everything? Austin Hayes, I tweeted about it earlier today. Let me go and find this. Austin Hayes was batting .294 going into today, coming off of his IL stint. So let's see Austin Hayes' last 14 games. If I could spell, that would be awesome. So in the last 14 games, which dates back to when Austin Hayes was brought off the IL, Austin Hayes is batting .316 with 12 hits, 2 home runs, both coming tonight, 3 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. So if you want to talk about, I'm seeing so much love for Austin Hayes, and it makes my heart happy. It really does. And C-My, you're right. Got to acknowledge the pimp job. You know, there are a few different pimp jobs in the MLB. There's the arrogant pimp job where you know, like, you got it. Then there's the it's about damn time pimp job. And that's what we saw from Austin Hayes tonight. That ball left the bat, and you felt like a weight off of Austin Hayes' shoulder. Finally got a hold of one And yeah, that bat flip, absolutely incredible because you could just feel the energy. Hazy has been a guy that they stuck with him for a reason. We've talked with Mike Elias here on the show about it. Veterans matter, even though we all want to talk about all the fun young guys. The Connor Norby's coming up. What's Connor Norby going to do today? It's Ramon Urias and it's Austin Hayes coming to save today to put on. And even Tony, we've talked about it on this show before, and I have mixed feelings about Anthony Santander because he's one of the most annoying players in the fact that he'll go 3 weeks and he'll carry an offense. He will carry Tony Taters right now. This Tony Taters is going to go on a streak. You can tell he's hot. This is the type of Tony that for the next 2 weeks can carry this offense. But it's the downsides of Tony, the 1 for 50s, the 2 for 30s, where you're like, man, what's going on? But when Tony's hitting like this, let's step back a week. A week ago, if you would have told me that the three stars of the game on the road in Toronto would be Urias, Hayes, and Santander, this fan base would have called you crazy. But that's why Elias and Hyder, that's why they get paid the big bucks, because they stuck with these guys through the bad times, through the good times. Yeah, Tony Chips, fresh out the fryer, British Orioles. Appreciate you staying up with us again. Hey, love the passion, man, but you got to have that sleep schedule. I know has got to be messing you up. Appreciate you as always. I'm seeing a lot of people saying Urias is playing for his next job. Maybe this is just raising some sort of value for some of these guys. But at the end of the day, when they're going to go out there and produce like they did tonight, 6 of the 7 runs came from those 3. Isn't that crazy? Those guys. So let's get back into deeper diving into the statistics once again. Gunnar Henderson, only the 1 hit was the double late in the game. Honestly, Gunnar had a few good swings, but I thought he got that opposite field one. What inning was that? I think it was the 6th, 7th inning. Thought he got one into one opposite field. Adley continues hitting. Ryan O'Hearn walks his first at bat. Then lefty Ryan O'Hearn hit. If Ryan O'Hearn, Kevin's behind the screen right now, but I got to get this rant out. If Ryan O'Hearn starts hitting lefties, I'm telling you right now, it's over. It is over. Stop playing the games, because if Ryan O'Hearn starts hitting lefties, bring the trophy to Baltimore. That's how big of a deal it feels when Ryan O'Hearn hits lefties. Ryan O'Hearn, I was just about to get to it. And taking bags. Ryan O'Hearn, lefty infield hit, followed by a Ryan O'Hearn steal. If I'm an opposing player, I'm throwing up. What did we just witness? But Joe's saying Zach solo. I'm only solo for a few more seconds. We're actually going to bring him on right now. We got a prop, Ray? Thumbs up. We're good. We're all good. Okay, we got a so. Kevin Ostreicher, how are you?
I need to go get it. So Orioles win. We love Austin Hayes. We love everybody. I'm going to be like 3 seconds to get the prop.
All right, go.
I'll be back. So enjoy the fish in the background. One second.
Yeah, everyone. Okay, everyone, while he's gone, put in the chat right now, what do we think this prop is going to be? Just start putting in the chat, because I have no clue what he's about to go get. Mike, I agree. Today was a beautiful marriage of offense, defense, pitching, all producing. Whole team is strong, pure talent. I think a lot of people saying the stick. I'm liking barrel of. Oh, and Victoria was right. The Baltimore Orioles, Banksy? Hey, damn it. Ramon went.
Okay.
Okay, Banksy no longer. Banksy said, I gotta wait for him to put. I'm so mad Ramon Arias hit that bomb because I was about to say one leg for every home run hit tonight, but we hit 4.
Well, he heard his automatic feeder go off, so he was getting a little crazy in the box.
3 legs in a dream, baby.
But that's how I found him. He literally a box this small. He fits in it. He sits in it. So I picked him up, and he was good for those 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah, that was good. But Kevin, because you were there when we talked to Ryan O'Hearn, I want to kind of get your opinion on this. We actually, I can go try to find the clip, and I'll put it on my Twitter. Ryan O'Hearn joked with us on the show. If you haven't watched that, go back. We have a bunch of Orioles players that have come on the show and had great conversations with. But Ryan O'Hearn was one of my favorite because of how real he was. He literally on stream said to us, he was like, I don't know why lefties keep kicking my ass. It was like, I don't know what it is. I used to hit lefties well in the minors, but he was like, I get up here. All I want to do is hit a lefty. And tonight he gets the opportunity. Not what you would, in the scorebook, it's a line drive, but the infield single against the lefty followed by the stolen base. I mean, it's just one of those nights. If you would have told me the Orioles tonight were going to have a game where Austin Hayes hits 2 home runs, Ramon Arias hits a home run, Tony gets, his 2-run tater, and Ryan O'Hearn stealing bases, I would be like, what happened in this? Like, how did we get to this point? What went on? But that's just kind of how the Orioles have been this year. We've talked about it multiple times, Kevin. You need to score in ways without the long ball. Well, they didn't do that tonight. But what did they do? They got two 2-run shots. We said if you're going to hit the long ball, you might as well get guys on base. If you're going to hit 2 home runs, you might as well make it worth 4 runs instead of 2. 6 of the 7 runs end up being off of home runs, but it doesn't matter. If you're going to score 7 runs, if you're going to get it, you take it. So what are your first kind of thoughts on tonight? I haven't really touched on Grayson yet, so we can get to that. But kind of offensively, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I know you talked about Austin Hayes already, Zach, but this to me is, again, you see players go through slumps all the time in baseball. Ryan has talked about it. We've all talked about it where, yeah, we can admit Austin to start the year was struggling really badly. But we've seen that script from him before. We've seen that script from a lot of others before. And this wasn't just like, okay, well, Austin hit 2 homers. That's the only hit. Those are the only 2 hits he's had in the past. No, he's been hitting. Like, he's been on a stretch now. So when you talk about guys who in slumps last different amounts of time for everybody, right? Cedric's slump has been a really, really, really long time. But this to me is why it's such a delicate balance between when do you say, okay, we're going to take you out of the lineup? When do we say we need to get something else in here? Like, it's a balance. So for Austin to have him hit those homers, it's something that, again, when the Orioles are at their best, Austin Hayes is producing for them, and Austin Hayes is playing a regular role for them. And I love the point you made about, we've talked a lot about how you can't be overly reliant on the long ball. But if you're not hitting 3 solo shots in a game and you're getting guys on base and you're hitting those guys in with home runs, then fine. And thanks a lot, Kevin. Michael says, thanks a lot, Kevin. Now my wife's going to be buying Orioles cat clothing. A story about Banksy, very on a side note, is that if you don't know the story about orange cats have demons. They do. They are very active. They are crazy cats. And it's, they're great, but they are crazy cats. With Banksy in particular, the cat clothes actually calm him down, where they suppress those demons. So it's very hard getting it on him. But when I get the clothes on him, we get the clothes on him, it's about going and sleeping. Banksy sleeps. So I don't know what it is, but when those cat clothes go on, Banksy says, all right, I know it's time for bed now. And that's how we suppress those demons. So I apologize, Michael, if some money's about to be spent on some cat clothes, but you can put that one on me.
I have no words. Actually, that does make sense. So I used to have a black lab who, during thunderstorms, we'd have to put clothes on him because that was the only way he wouldn't freak out.
Like the thunder vests, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to talk about Kevin Gausman for a little bit. And mostly because we've seen Kevin Gausman. We said he wasn't having the best year. 6 1/3. Okay, that's good. 6 hits. Great. 6 earned runs. And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, that's where honestly where you see a lot of the Orioles didn't get a lot of chances against Gausman, but they hit it out when they got the opportunities to, and they took advantage. Austin Hays, 2 home runs against Gausman. But what I kind of want to talk about is Austin Hays made interesting comments after the game. They asked him about what he was seeing against Gausman, and usually guys will go out there and they'll be like, oh, I was looking for this pitch. I was looking for this. I was looking for that. I know he wants to do this. Austin Hays has had a very nice career against Kevin Gausman. And his response was, well, I don't want to give anything away. And then said, but it's fun going against him. Does Austin, is Kevin Gausman tipping pitches to Austin Hays? I don't know what it was, but with the way he said it, it was a super interesting, almost like I know what he wants to throw, but I'm not going to say it out loud. It was just very weird. So Austin Hays, who has career-wise owned Kevin Gausman, I think he's batting over 500 now against him in his career with an OPS over 1,000. Casey Hayes wasn't excited at all. It was he was like, no, I don't want to give away too much. I don't know if he's trying to play it cool, I've been here, done that type thing. But very interesting response there after it felt like the Orioles kind of got to Gausman on a few pitches. And weirdly, real fast, I saw it up here by someone, but there were, I think it said 42 combined, 36. Here we go. Right, 36 combined hard hit balls for both teams. Wow, so maybe those balls were flying off the bat. Just some of them were right at people. Kevin, I know before we get into Grayson, was there anything else just offensively that you liked?
No, I mean it's always nice to see Tony get his tater. I know that we've all year it's kind of been is Tony going to break out of the slump? We've seen him have a couple of hits here, a couple of huge hits over these last couple of games. So again, Tony has the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I think, Zach, you're the one, the peaks and valleys of Tony, just, it's kind of that roller coaster for him. But again, everybody produces, right? And Connor Norby gets the 0 for 3. I mean,
send him down. But send him down.
They didn't need him, though. And this is the thing I've been talking about for this offense all season. Doesn't have to be Gunnar. Doesn't have to be Adley. Doesn't have to be Mountie. You get production from other people. This whole lineup can get something going. One night it can be Austin Hays. One night it can be Tony. One night you get the gun show going, and that's a lot of nights, honestly. But you don't have to rely on your stars every single night when you have as deep of a lineup as Baltimore does. Now, I'm going to be curious. I'm going to be really curious to figure out how they handle this outfield rotation now, because Austin Hays is getting back in the groove. We know Kyle Stowers has earned more at bats. Colton Cowser with a very, we're seeing him start to show a little bit more after his torrid start to the year. Obviously slumped a little bit after that, but we're starting to see him had that double, the RBI double tonight. So then it comes down to, all right, you have Hayes, you have Cowser, you have Stowers, Cedric and Anthony Santander. How are they going to maneuver that, especially when with guys like Adley and Ryan O'Hearn with the DH situation? It's your solution is okay, just put 4 of them in, have one be the DH. Well, the Orioles have guys who DH already. It's not that simple. So I'm curious to see what they do with this outfield rotation, especially if Austin Hays continues to hit like this.
Yeah, and real fast before we get to Brad, like you said, they have 5 guys right now that you can argue need to be starting. You have Stowers, you have Cowser, you have Hayes, you have Santander. Then there's guys, they always love putting O'Hearn in the outfield. Like, that's another thing. Connor Norby, you can even argue he's got reps in the outfield as well. So much. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in those situations, because it's like every option right now is playing well. And then you have Cedric Mullins, obviously, whose fielding is second to none. And we've talked about it for the past week. It feels like he's just been the most unlucky hitter on earth. Hard contact everywhere, right at players. So it's like you want to still get Seti in there to get him going, get him hot like these guys. But how do you find at bats? So Brad, joining, big thoughts, big takeaways from today. How are we feeling?
Yeah, so I just wanted to hop in because I just couldn't believe that I saw Urias hit a jack today. I was actually watching. I had it in the background. I was working in the studio, trying to get things, improved there, working on stuff with the soundboard. And I just happened to glance over, and I see a pimp job from Urias, and I'm like, "What the?" I had to look twice, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, "This is crazy." It's just whenever you think these guys are down and out, and send them out. DFA them, whatever. You have a lot of fans out there counting these guys out way too early, and then they do something like that, and it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like Austin Hayes, people wanted him gone. People wanted Austin Hayes DFA'd. People wanted Ramon Urias DFA'd. People are saying bench Tony. Like, why is Tony getting all these at bats over Stowers? All 3 of them with bombs today. Just, it feels like you said, every time an Orioles player is counted out, they have a massive game, and you're like, how do we fit all these guys in the lineup? It's what we've said over and over. If you want to talk about the deepest 40-man roster in all of Major League Baseball, it's the Orioles by a landslide, because they have trouble keeping guys. They would like to bat 40 guys. I mean, that's how deep this Baltimore Orioles system is. And before we move on, Mark Oz, thanks for holding down the fort. Moo, appreciate you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. I see a lot of people already commenting on my backdrop here. I am on the roof. I'm on the Rocco's roof, and there's no Rocco here, which I very much enjoy. This is Rocco's roof.
Nice, peaceful without Rocco there.
It is. And I will be able to go to bed at a decent hour and not stay up till 3 a.m. eating DiGiorno's pizza on a random Tuesday.
Gotta love Rocco. Yeah. And I love Chris, nailed it on the head. Rolled ons, baby. We are in a special era, and it truly is.
Yeah.
It truly is a special era, because there's not a lot. Teams would kill to be in the position of the Baltimore Orioles, where the stuff that we argue about. Do you remember when we were arguing if this team could even put together 9 competitive batters just in the organization? Like, It was like, can you even
It was 2 years ago.
Guys? Yeah. And now we're sitting here going, well, this 5th guy off the bench needs more playing time, but we can't, because we'd have to bench 2 potential all-stars and one who was an all-star last year. And it's just like, everywhere you look, you're like, how do we get this guy playing time without taking away playing time from this other star? And
on top of it, you have guys in the minor leagues who would be on 25 of 30 MLB rosters. And it's just like, not only can you field all this talent on the Major League roster, there is such an abundance of it that you can't even fit everybody on the 40-man. It's like, it's incredible from where we were talking about this team 5, 4, 3, even Brady said 2 years ago, versus where we're talking about them now. The shift has been, it's been really fun. Watching this team through those days and now seeing where they are now, everybody who was with the Orioles through those struggling times deserves a team like this. And it's really fun to see.
Yeah.
They were the worst team in baseball 3 years ago. That's the crazy part. The turnaround has been absolutely insane. And look, we just talked about it earlier tonight. Kevin, we went to that 30-3 game, And so we've just been we've been fans with some really terrible teams. And I've never, in my 38 years of existence, seen a turnaround like this in ever. I don't know if I've ever seen a turnaround that quick. Just going from zero to competing for a World Series, like that type of caliber play, going to 100 wins. And it's just wild. It really is. So like a lot of people want to complain about the current state of the team and like drop this guy, drop that guy. But at the same time, it's just like, just enjoy this team right now, people.
Yeah.
Like just take it in, because this kind of shit doesn't happen, especially in Baltimore.
Yeah. No. I mean, part of it too, real quick, is just how they came onto the scene last year. Like how quickly they said, all right, we're here now. We're ready to compete. And that was a young team last year. It still is a young team now. But from where they were 2 years ago to all of a sudden winning 100 games last year, winning the AL East, getting the 1 seed, like it was such a quick ascension to where that was. It's like sometimes with honestly, in a lot of those situations, it's like, all right, they got to build up steps. Like they'll win 20 more games, then 10 more games than that. And then it's like a build-up process. The Orioles were like, all right, we're ready now. Like we're skipping all the steps. And in the rebuild, they went through every single step, essentially. Felt like they were doing it for years and years and years. But now they're here. And the timeline on this team, obviously, you can't say for certain because, we've seen crazy things happen. But if everything goes well for them, the timeline on this team, I mean, it extends years and years from now.
I think the biggest thing to talk about the Orioles' depth right now, if you look at wins above replacement for all rookies, number 1 is Joey Ortiz of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep.
If the Orioles do not trade for Corbin Burns, there is a very, very, very good chance that Joey Ortiz is not in the majors right now. And this guy is leading all rookies in WAR. Like, this is just talks about how deep this team is. We have guys that we didn't have room for that we're like, it's almost we talked about how it's similar to the Connor Norby situation where you're like, this guy's so talented, he should be playing and being a potential star on another team, but there's nowhere to put him. And Orioles Birdwatcher, I love how you put this. Man, I've said the same thing to so many people. Enjoy what we got and support the vets. They got us here. The kids will pitch and be the future, but 2024 is now. Get behind Tony, said, and Hayes. Yeah, and it's kind of what we've been saying on this show is like, yeah, it's really cool to see the rookies play, and you want to see them get a bunch of at-bats, but you got to remember the guys that were here to win 101 games last year, the guys who were here in the dark days and produced. Like these guys, these aren't slouches. Mike Elias is not keeping slouches on this team. We've seen them get rid of a lot of guys really quickly. Look at Vieira. Vieira got one shot. He got one shot, did nothing with it, and they said, awesome, we're trying to win a World Series, hit the road. They're keeping these guys because they know that if they want to win down the road, if they want to win the big one, they want to be hoisting the World Series trophy at the end, they're going to need these veterans, and they're going to need them for the long haul.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true because there's a balance that the Orioles have to have in their organization right now of developing young talent, and this is a team good enough to win the World Series right now. So when you're talking about, all right, well, calling up all these guys and giving them opportunities and trying to find at-bats, well, at the same time, you're going to take away at-bats from a seasoned veteran who's been there. And again, it's a great problem to have. Like these are the types of problems you would rather have an abundance of talent than no talent at all. You would rather be where the Orioles are now instead of where they were 3, 4, 5 years ago. But with that does come a lot of tough decisions of trading a guy like Joey Ortiz, who I think would have found the same success in Baltimore had he gotten an opportunity. The issue was that there just was no opportunity for him here. We had the conversation earlier today about Connor Norby and just like what his future is in Baltimore. So the Orioles can leverage those guys and get more veteran talent in immediate positions of need, but that doesn't mean that they haven't done an incredible job over these past however many years you want to go back, accumulating this young talent, going through those years and figuring it out to get to the point where they are today of having a young competitive team that is good enough to win a World Series and has a window that should extend for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah. We can keep this conversation going, but there's a lot of people asking about the pizza, and I wanted to chat. So King Gaga's already asking about pizza too. So the story is, if you guys aren't a part of the Holy Shirts and Pants Club, you didn't get to see what happened, a week and a half ago, and that it was 2:30 in the morning. Rocco and out here were slamming beers, and he got hungry. The man got hungry, so he went down and tossed the DiGiorno in the oven, and it was pepperoni DiGiorno, but that wasn't the half of it.
Yeah.
Once he got done with that pizza, he then put what is it? What is the Iron Rooster, the honey sriracha or honey barbecue, whatever it is, sauce all over it. Yeah, but yeah. And then put sweet pickles on top of that, and then just ate it like it was nothing. And we weren't drunk either. I say we were slamming beers, but it was like we were fine. His conscious mind put this together and then ate it like that at 2:30 in the morning. I was actually impressed that he did that and woke up totally fine, because my ass would be blown out at about 4:30.
He's a special human.
Now, does Rocco hold his pizza?
Yeah, sweet pickles. That's the weird thing. Like, the sweet pickles on it was the.
Yeah.
You can't fold a DiGiorno pizza.
No, that's what I was about to say. You can't really fold it. No, nobody folds them DiGiorno.
Yeah, you can't. If it's bigger slice, you have to. But yeah, you can't.
Plus, he's Italian.
I don't.
He's not folding pizza.
No. If it's a big slice, I take it with two hands, and I'm just like, all right, we're gonna eat it this way.
Casey says, sounds very munchies like to me. I wish there were gummies or weed of some sort in this house, but that is not the case, sadly. It was just Rocco in his right mind.
Rocco just sober, deciding to the sweet pickles. Like, what was he thinking?
I don't know.
Beats a 7-Eleven 7-day-old hot dog at 2 a.m. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Sometimes you just need that hot dog at 2 a.m.
Accurate. I do.
Kevin eats pizza with two hands.
Oh my God.
So yes, if you want more content like that, Holy Shirts and Pants is the way to go.
Yeah, what's funny is that actually over top of this, so this is a fence, like on top of the roof. You guys see that? That's a huge hood. It's a hood fan because Rocco lives next to a pizza joint. And Liz, ironically, lives next to a pizza joint, and we threw DiGiorno's in the oven at 2:30 in the morning.
He wouldn't go out there and get a pizza. He made you eat DiGiorno.
Obviously, it wasn't open. It's just ironic that there's a DiGiorno in the freezer and there's a pizza place right next door.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Rocco. He's special. He's special. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's just who we attract. I mean, look at Kevin.
Yeah, it's what we
do. It's who we attract to the show.
It's how it happens, and I think we're better for having Rocco and his whateverness on the show.
I love Sluggers Red says. So, anyways, the Ramon Empire is totally back. Just talking Rocco Pizza and Ramon Arias. What a night! What a night! It only makes sense. Bringing up Rocco doing weird stuff on a night where the Orioles did a lot of weird stuff in the way of how they scored, who scored their runs. Because I think if you looked at, I did decide to look at Blue Jays Twitter because I wanted to see how they were reacting to the players who were hitting home runs. I don't think Blue Jays Twitter took Ramon Arias hitting a home run very well. In fact, I know they did it because there were a lot of curse words about how bad the Jays are as a team. If Ramon Arias, like you said, Brad, is pimping home runs off of you. There were a lot of people who were like, we need to just have a fire sale now. And I was like, oh, man. It's like, you don't even know the half of it.
I think also Brad, Bill Bichette on Monday went 1 for 4, so far below his Monday averages.
Yeah, it's still 1 for 4.
Oh,
he keeps it.
Yeah, 1 for 4 ain't bad.
Not
yeah.
Far. But yeah.
It was still a solid Monday night for Bichette.
Not terrible. Not terrible. I was gonna add on quickly. I think we're
what a crazy stat though. What a crazy stat. What did I say? 457, 452
450
on Monday nights for Bichette.
Yep.
Crazy. Insane. OPS of 1.3. Like that's just wild.
Unreal.
I was gonna, before we move on to what we're gonna talk about Grayson probably soon.
Yeah.
So
I think we should.
What very quick point about Rocco's Pizza, probably better than the Pittsburgh salads.
Without a doubt. It had to be.
100%.
Pittsburgh salad. Get out of here. Putting fucking fries on it and calling
for
it.
Those. Yeah. Guys, if you guys watched the earlier show, Zach, Kevin, and I were still fuming about that after the show. About like that's the thing in Pittsburgh.
We had a long conversation.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I just went back and clipped up the regular Steelers conversation. I'm about to go back and clip up the food conversation, and I was laughing the whole time. It was such a funny conversation. How often
we were getting so upset over the food that Pittsburgh eats.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, but
it's just offensive.
It is. Like, what are they doing down there? What are they? And then they're saying it's better than us. Eat a crab cake.
No. Yeah.
So I do want to talk about this Grayson Rodriguez outing solely a lot because of I see a lot of discourse in the chat and on Twitter about you need to leave Grayson Rodriguez in to face that last batter. Let him get through 7. Now, I'm going to say it right now. You don't. You take Grayson out every single time in that situation, because how many times this year have we seen Hyde leave a guy in for 1 pitch too many? 1 pitch too many. And at that time, it's 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, and you're up by 4. If Grayson gives up a home run to the leadoff hitter, Schneider, suddenly, who is the hottest hitter in the Blue Jays lineup? Suddenly it's 6-5 in the 7th inning. And this game looks a whole lot different.
But if Grayson threw 3 more strikeouts, Brad would have won his plus 1384 bet because everything else hit except for Grayson tonight.
Yeah, Brad, if it makes you feel better, I had a very similar parlay with a few more hits, and the last thing I needed was Grayson 5 strikeouts. So I was begging for him to stay for 1 more batter. I was, but I do understand Hyde's fact of if you're gonna, there's just no point in taking that chance, because how many times have we seen even Corbin Burns, Grayson before?
Yeah,
it's just that they bring him in and they're like, okay, just get this last guy, and then a big home run hits, a big double hits, and you're like, okay, this situation got way out of hand. Instead, you bring in Cano, who 1 pitch gets out of it, and it's like nothing ever happened. I know Grayson was, you could tell. And Hyde, I thought this was great. Hyde was laughing walking to the mound to get Grayson because of how pissed off Grayson was that Hyde was walking to the mound to get him. Grayson did not want to come out of that game, and Hyde was losing it.
Holy shit. Casey is high rolling on us. She had put 170. Is that right? You put $175 on Mountie hitting?
No,
getting on base?
I think that means like that's the last leg. Right? I think.
Oh, you would have made 175. Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, no donations.
I'm sure a lot of people had Mountie hits in their parlays tonight.
So, Alex Baltimore, actually, while you say that, last show I put a live on show.
We talked about this,
yeah, live on air. I placed a Seth Lugo Cy Young bet.
Oh, that was electric. On stream live bets from Zach Bellinger.
Yeah, you know why? So Alex, how we even came to that was because we were looking at Lugo's numbers, and he was only he was number 4
plus,
as far as
1,500.
Yeah, crazy, and he's the best pitcher in the AL right now, maybe even the league. I think.
Yeah, ERA wise, I think he's number 1. Yeah,
insane.
Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo, baby. But a little bit back to Grayson, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. It just feels like, oh, she clarified it was a $10 to win 175. Damn, that actually sucks.
Oh.
That sucks even more.
Well,
that hurts me. That hurts me.
Yeah. I appreciate that you're being responsible over there, Casey.
Yeah, way to be responsible. But Grayson Rodriguez, it feels like it happens more and more over the past, really this season, end of last season.
Yeah.
Where Corbin Burns, I'm seeing Corbin Burns in the comments, where Grayson Rodriguez just goes out there and dominates. And you're like, this is an ace. Like, when was the last time we said the Orioles had 1 ace, let alone 3, and you developed 1 in Grayson Rodriguez? That was the biggest thing. The Orioles can't develop aces. You got to go out and buy 1. You got to go out and trade for 1. That's why they got Burns. They obviously traded for Bradish. They developed him. But it was the Orioles. The old stigma was the Baltimore Orioles cannot draft and develop pitchers. And if you look at Grayson Rodriguez right now, he is the exact opposite. Absolute stud on the mound. And Scott, Kevin, you have
stand
to
up for this one.
Everyone stand up.
Should I go get Banksy? Should I go get Banksy for this one?
Yeah, if he's there, go get him.
All right. Okay. All right.
You the man, Scott.
Banksy. All right.
You the man.
You the man.
Scott says, win was fantastic. This time we scored a lot. If we're scoring, we need to face defense issues. Yeah, I mean, obviously the defense, you'd like to have no errors. Cows are overstepping, Tony to steal catch, Gunner's 4th error, throwing error at first base, the runner scored. Yeah, I think it's a tough one. You're going to live with Gunner making that error. He makes so many incredible plays. It's annoying, and actually I was texting people about this earlier. I don't know what it is, but it feels like whenever Gunner makes an error, we give up runs. Like everyone else can never pick up Gunner. Like if someone else makes an error, I don't know how many times we've made an error this year, and then the next batter hits into like a double play. If Gunner makes an error, it always seems like then the next pitch just gets smoked 110 down the line. And here's Banksy.
Yeah.
That's for we'll bring Scott up one
there
more time
is.
for it. Get him on the scope. There it is, Scott. Oh, Banksy. What a good boy. You too, Kevin. You're a good kid, Kevin. You're a good kid, better cat. Are you just having
He looks so pissed at you right now.
Cat VP. Cat VP.
Jesus.
Marcus says the cat is bigger than Kevin. It might be. It really might be.
You're not wrong. Not wrong.
Not wrong at all. Okay, let's go through. I'm trying to. Another one.
I was going to say, go ahead.
I was going to say just real quick. Bullpen. Cano goes 1 1/3. No runs, no hits. Aiken, 1 hit, no runs, got the strikeout. Bullpen looked good tonight. I mean, and it's what we've said multiple times throughout this whole season. When the starters can go deep into games and this bullpen is rested, we talk about the inconsistencies of the bullpen all the time here. A lot of it has to do with they are gassed 24/7. It has been only a few times this year you really felt like this bullpen was any sort of rested. So back-to-back games of starters going deep into the game, bullpen's rested, and when they're rested, they're a different animal out there. We've said multiple times, would you like to upgrade the bullpen? Without a doubt. But there are 30 MLB teams right now saying we would love to upgrade our bullpen. There are very few, if any, teams that are 100% happy with how their bullpen is. That's always going to be an issue for teams, no matter how good or how bad you are. We've seen some of the worst teams in the league have these shutdown bullpens, and then some of the best have horrible bullpens. The bullpen is such a weird position to kind of address, especially in the offseason when you don't know how guys are throwing. So, yeah, I think bullpen help still comes, but at the end of the day, if these guys are rested, the group they have right now can win them a lot of ball games.
They'll be just fine.
I mean, I think with we've had a lot of conversations about, okay, guys going 5 innings, guys going 6 innings. If you can squeeze an extra inning out of those starts, make it 6 innings to 7 innings instead of 5 to 6. That just helps because, again, if you have a guy like Grayson tonight who goes 5 2/3, let's say, well, then that's another guy. If you're bringing in a guy an inning, that's one other guy who has to come in and pitch an inning. So if you can squeeze, and the starting rotation has been the most consistent part of this team all season. If they can continue, I mean, my take is that the Orioles should win every single game where the starter gives up under 5 runs and games where the team itself gives up less than 6 because the offense is that good and the starting pitching has been that good. But the issue, at least consistency-wise, has been the offense has struggled at times and the bullpen has struggled at times. So if the starters can give you that extra inning of, okay, they're dominating, go that extra inning of domination. There's not a question of, okay, is the bullpen going to come in and blow that during that extra inning? It keeps the bullpen rested. You're having starting pitching continue to dominate over longer stretches. That, to me, I think is the formula for success for Baltimore, at least when they're talking about it. Even this month where we know there's only one off day this entire month, it's going to be so key for them to keep everybody well rested over this month to make sure they're not overusing guys, because if they get into a situation or an area where they're using guys throughout the entire month, then once you get to September, October, that might come back to bite you.
Yeah. And I love we see guys like Cionel Perez, Danny Coulomb. They didn't have to use Craig Kimbrell after that. Yep. Actually, Backy, as soon as I said, and Craig Kimbrell, bullpen is getting more and more rested. Obviously, that's something that can change just like that. You know, one bad outing by a guy or two can suddenly take your bullpen from looking really good to really bad really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you hope that Corbin Burns, we expect to see Kyle Bradish in the next 3 games. One game is up in the air as of right now. We'll see if maybe I saw Dean Kramer through a light side session today. Not sure how that's going to go on if he would be able to pitch this week. I doubt it. So we'll see, but I love how this bullpen looks when it's fully rested. Does that mean I think there doesn't need to be a move? No, I think there will be eventually. But every time they're rested, they seem to come out there and perform well. So if you can add 1 or 2 more guys to that, it can be a strength of this team. Just like we say, if this offense can get a little bit more consistency getting on base. Hey, in the past 2 weeks since we've talked about them needing to get on base more, they went from 23rd in the MLB to 14 in on-base percentage. So slowly but surely, just keep climbing up. Keep on climbing up.
Yeah, I think it's also imperative that over this next couple of, well, obviously for all the division
I love that
games,
this is a question. Did Kevin eat anything for the win?
I did not. Banksy has made 2 appearances. That's the most appearances he's ever made in a stream. I did not. I ate I've done celebratory celery, celebratory relish shots. Have I eaten anything else?
Oh my God.
I don't think I've eaten anything else.
No, you had the cow udders before.
Yeah, I did the cow udders. I did the brooms for the sweep. But yeah.
And yes, just a few questions about this. Yes, Thursday is Cade Povich's normal start rotation. So he and Means are on the same. Yeah, I think him and Means or him and Bradish are on the same rotation. So it'll be interesting. I think Thursday could very well be a day. If they decide to make it happen, I could see Cade Povich getting his passport ready right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. We say we got 3 more Blue Jays games to go. So let's cut this one shorter, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We are. We're never mind. Never mind. We're not gonna actually. I forgot to show these off during the stream. We're gonna end this really well, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm so confused what you're about to do. What is he about to do?
Me too.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Orioles socks going on. You see this?
Kevin, I was so freaking scared when suddenly you started raising your lower body to the camera. I was like, what?
It was my
about
Stop.
Yes, but I just see you start raising your leg. I'm like, what is about to go down as we end this stream? And it doesn't make me feel better that you go, yeah, we're ending this a little wild. And then you start raising your leg above your head.
Now I know what your mind is. Congratulations.
It's always in the Kevin feet. Toes for free in this.
No, it's not. They're covered. They're covered. They're covered.
$9.99.
Come on, guys. They're covered. They're covered.
Oh yes, this is beautiful.
I'm gonna get probably 3 tags on Twitter the next 5 minutes with the screenshot.
Joe keeps telling me that. Joe, I hate to break it to you, dude. I've gone like 4 straight days without a bullpen rest sheet. I dropped the ball this weekend. I was not waking up feeling the greatest each day. So Lucas is wondering, what's your feet finder?
God.
Oh my God!
Only fan for Kevin Toes. These are.
I expected some like funny. Oh hey, you're wearing Orioles socks because my feet are covered. They're covered.
After dark.
Yeah, look at what Ryan misses out.
I would listen. If we started a new tier in our channel memberships for just Kevin's feet picks, that would probably go ballistic.
Oh my God!
People would probably pay.
Kevin Toes striker.
Oh my God!
I gotta add that one to the list, don't I?
Oh my God! That's the best one yet. That's the best one yet.
I don't know where my phone is, but I'll have to add that one to the list.
That's all right. We won't forget. We don't even have to write it down. We just won't forget. Holy fucking shit!
I like Casey. You wiggled them.
No way. I didn't have my toes. Look, I'll do it again. I didn't have my toes. I literally did this. My toes weren't even in the frame.
Yes, they were. You wiggled them.
No,
I saw it.
Absolutely.
It's on film. We got it. It's on film.
We'll have Ryan do a breakdown of my toes.
Yep. We will.
Okay. Well, for all of us here, we just gotta get out of here. For all of us here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we are so sorry for what Kevin just exposed, or you're welcome, depending on what side of the foot finder you're on.
They were covered.
For myself, Brad, and Kevin Toe Striker, this has been another Ryan Ripken Show recap. Orioles win 7-2. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Ryan Ripken Show After Dark. See ya.
Peace.